Aloha and welcome to week 10 of CM400C. In this week's lecture, I've combined both week 10 usability testing and week 13 incorporating user feedback. At this point in the semester, you will start transitioning from wireframing to prototyping and set up your first usability test for your final project. So let's get started. Before we dive into usability testing, let's take a moment to reflect on where you are in your mobile design process. At this point in the process, each of you should have a finalized app context and created a phrase that describes your app, so your abstract. In step 2, you did some market research to understand your competitors and how user needs are currently being met. And finally, in step number 3, you've taken your context and transformed it into an app vision while also finalizing your user needs and the functions that you will design for. With mobile design process steps 1 to 3 under your belt, you're almost ready to dive into branding and visual design. But before you do that, you'll have to digitize your wireframes, create a prototype, and complete at least 2 usability tests. So, what is a usability test? Your interactive design textbook states that usability testing is a technique that is used to evaluate a product by testing it with its intended users. The aim of usability testing is to watch real people use what you've designed to discover any errors they may encounter, how they feel while using it, and to determine ways the experience may be improved. Usability test provides insights for mobile designers like yourself. It helps to validate assumptions you made in the mobile design process about your users, your competitors, and the viability of your app idea. How is the user experience? Make sure that you use correct mobile design patterns and you use the UI elements correctly on each screen. Usability tests help in determining whether there's a clear pathway that meets app functionality and the user's needs. So, what that means is in your wireframes, you guys are going to create 2 unique app flows, so wireframes for 2 unique app flows, which represent different functions of your app from start to finish. So, in other words, users need to have a clear pathway through your wireframes, through your prototype, to meet or complete that app function. I will provide a demo on how to film your usability test, but before you even start usability testing, you have to digitize your wireframes for the entire app flow. So no hand sketch wireframes are allowed for the final project and or in your Envision prototype. I actually have a class account, so I'm going to be sending you guys that information. And then you'll create a project, upload each of your wireframe screens, and you're going to create hotspots for each screen that represent your app flow. And you're going to review your prototype in Envision. So you've completed your first set of wireframes, digitized them, you've created and reviewed your prototype in Envision. You're now ready to create your usability test questionnaire. For the final project, each of you will have to create and participate in usability testing. Each of you will create a usability test questionnaire using Google Forms. So I'm actually going to provide this guide sheet with a little bit more detail for you guys. So don't worry about having to jot all this down or memorize any of this information. But you guys are going to be creating a survey to accompany the user test. So when your partner is going through the recording and the usability testing and the app flow that you've laid out for them, they're also going to fill out this survey or test questionnaire for you. So what do you do after you get back your user testing recording? As part of your final project, you would take your notes and address areas of your prototype with low ratings and iterate your wireframe screens that prove to be problematic. Other issues you may need to address are adding missing screens in your app flow or adding hotspots missing in your Envision prototype. Once you've updated your prototype with new screens and hotspots, you can share it with your partner again, and they're going to be actually doing a second user test. So, just to review, usability testing will enable you to create better and more user centered mobile designs. It's good practice to set aside your own biases and allow someone else to experience your design, and you can witness the user experience take place in a recording. Ultimately, through user testing, you will improve and iterate your design and prototype and discover things about your mobile design that otherwise may not have been discovered without a user test. For your final project, you will prepare 2 user tests with your assigned partner. Good luck, and let me know if you have any questions.